What's up, people? This is the Maineie-G here, and this is my top 10 most embarrassing moments in gaming. November 22nd, 2005, the day Microsoft released its Xbox 360 as the first 7th generation console. Coming out almost a year before the PlayStation 3 and the Nintendo Wii, Microsoft had given themselves a head start in the 7th generation console war. But triumph turned to disaster, as hardware issues ended up making hundreds of people have to return their consoles. The now infamous Red Ring of Death will forever be a painful memory for both Microsoft and the gamers that it affected. In 1989, the Power Glove was released for the NES. It was designed to give players a new and exciting way to play their NES games. Unfortunately for Nintendo though, the Power Glove became known for mainly two things. First, its appearance in the world's longest advertisement known as The Wizard, with Lucas's cringeworthy line, "I love the Power Glove, it's so bad." And secondly, for making many games, especially platformers, impossible to play. Set to be one of the games of the year in 2008, the real-time strategy game Spore was looking to break records with its great graphics and intriguing gameplay. Unfortunately, a little thing called DRM landed EA in a bit of a embarrassing situation, as over 2,500 people gave it a 1-star rating on Amazon.com. They must have thought that the game was going to be so great that no one would really make an issue over its limited installation, but they did. But it's okay, EA, don't worry about it, people are still going to play Spore. It's already been downloaded illegally over 500,000 times. Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, is one of my favourite video game based movies of all time. In fact, scrap that, it's one of my favourite movies of all time. But for every great video game based movie there's 20 others which are dreadful at best. And companies can cover their ears all they want, but when a crap movie is made about one of your games, that movie will forever be associated with the game in question. E3 2008 was like any other E3 and all games conventions before it. It's a great opportunity for game companies, to show off what they got coming. Some of them disappoint and some of them surprise, but none, not one, produced one of the most embarrassing moments in history like Nintendo. The Wii music presentation of the Super Mario Bros. Theme was hard to watch. The whole thing with a lot of Wii titles is that you have fun, but the guys on stage, they just looked like they wanted the ground to open up and swallow them in. Often considered as Nintendo's only major failure in the gaming industry, the Virtual Boy was supposed to be a portable 3D gaming console. Two problems with that. A, it wasn't any good, and B, it wasn't exactly portable. Well, it was if you had a handy suitcase with you. With only two colours, being red and black, it gave people headaches. I mean, it was only on sale for 1 year and only 22 games were ever made. But hey, look on the bright side. At least Nintendo did something right with the Virtual Boy. They never released it in the UK. It's good to know that Nintendo love us that much. What's worse than an overhyped console that sucks balls? I'll tell you. An overhyped console that never even gets released. Well, Infinium Labs, later known as Phantom Entertainment, gave gamers a glimpse of the future with a console that relied solely on downloadable content. For only $30 a month, people would get the console for $9 and they'd be able to download a set number of games each month. It's just too bad that this glimpse into the future was just that, a glimpse and nothing else. Imagine for a moment, if you will, this scenario. Daily Destin goes on holiday, and instead of getting one of his great screw attack team members to present hard news whilst he's away, he asked Jack Thompson, "What do you think the outcome would be?" Exactly. I thought you might think that. So when Nintendo fell out with Sony after trying to get them to produce CD-based games for them, they turned to the Philips CDI and gave them the rights to produce Zelda games. The result, like with our scenario, was bad. So bad, in fact, that Nintendo deny the free CDI Zelda games have anything to do with the Nintendo Classic. It's just too bad because of the internet today that we all know the truth. In 1982, the CEO of Warner Communications entered talks with Steven Spielberg and Universal Pictures to obtain the rights to produce a video game based on the film E.T. They got the rights, but what should have been a great moment in the history of video games, it turned out to be a moment that almost killed the industry altogether. A game that is widely regarded as one of the main factors that contributed to the video games crash of 1983. It was a game that was rushed into production to make money. Instead, thousands of copies were unsold, and some believe that the unsold copies were buried in a New Mexican landfill. It's time for a quick recap before we get to number 1. Number 10. The Red Ring of Death. Number 9. Nintendo's Power Glove. Number 8. Spore's DRM issues. Number 7. Bad video game movies. Number 6. Wii Music at E3 2008. Number 5. The Virtual Boy. Number 4. The Never Existing Phantom. Number 3. CDI for Zelda. Oh yeah. Number 2. You got it. That piece of shit E.T. The Sega Mega Drive, for me, is one of the greatest consoles ever. And although in reality it always played second fiddle to the NES and the SNES, it had a certain charm and dignity to it. Unfortunately, Sega decided to strip the Mega Drive of all dignity by introducing the Mega CD and the 32X. They were designed to keep the Mega Drive competing with the new array of consoles that were coming out. Instead, it made Sega a laughingstock, with only a few games to really write home about. Why is this number 1, you ask? Well, it's simple really. Because Sega, unlike Nintendo with the NES and the SNES, never allowed the Mega Drive to go out gracefully. In fact, one has to ask the question, if Sega had put all the time and resource that they put into these add-ons into the Dreamcast, what would the console wars look like today? We can only wonder. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Just remember, if you could, rate, post your comments. I'd like to know what you guys find embarrassing in gaming over, well, its entire history. So hey, let me know. And remember to tune into my Maineie-Gs show every week. Got some new things coming next week, so I look forward to seeing you all then. I've been the Maineie-G. Be safe.